partnering up. Hi. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
I was trying to get on. Sorry, everyone. I was like listening and the whole thing.
I know. I basically just told the world, hey, I'm no longer a teacher. I'm sad about it. This is not how I was going to announce it. But I did make an oath to myself so that, while I'm staying home with the babies and pursuing Let's by Jenny, that I wanted to stay in the educational world. And
Yeah.
Hey, Trish. And so I just wanted to take some time with you. And I'm going to share this to a couple of the other groups right now. And while I'm doing that, I wanted you just to tell everybody, give them a 45-second rundown of you. Ready.
Of me?
Set. You and Mills.
Whoa.
Ready, set, go.
I'm like, of me? So I am a teacher and I teach math and special ed and academic coaching. I really love supporting students in their learning. I love what I do. I started tutoring a lot of kids. I was set up before the pandemic, almost 4 or 5 years before, already on Zoom, ready to go with all this stuff because I just kind of saw that you could, before the pandemic, you could help everybody. Doesn't matter where you are. I don't have to come to your house. People are playing sports, busy schedules, all this stuff. And it just grew into this phenomenal business that I'm just like, wait, I'm a teacher. And then I'm running this great business with
full-time business on your side.
Almost 50 teachers. Like, these are my friends, my colleagues, friends of friends. So everyone that is working with me is close knit. I know them. I know they're great teachers. I've worked with them in the classroom as a teen teacher. So we're using all the same strategies on how to get these kids to really understand these concepts that are hard in class. And now with virtual learning, of course, it's very difficult. It's very difficult, as you, Trish, to really comprehend everything that's going on online.
Yes.
But we're here to help and kind of bridge that gap between that virtual learning, because we're like, hey, we've been doing this, so we know how to kind of redefine what the teachers are doing in the classroom.
Absolutely. And yeah, Trisha just said it best. You're the tutoring OG. You started this 5 years ago, teacher of 15 years. And here's the deal. The great thing about my job is that I get to pick and choose who and what I work with, right? And so I chose Mills Virtual Tutoring, and you guys chose me too, so thank you. And it's not about us. I want to get to this. I have about 6 or 7 gems to drop with you parents that have kids that are taking end-of-year SOLs or final exams or AP exams, whatever. We have some really important killer information that you need to know that you may not need to or may not know, and you can only find it here. So you need to stay tuned. We're going to keep it short, but at the end of the day, the reason why I made the decision to pair with you is that I really love your entire strategy, your business plan, like everything that you do. You have so many people underneath you. You know how to lead a team, and you really, really are an amazing teacher. You know the ins and outs of the educational world. You are a former special ed department chair, which anybody that knows the amount of work that it takes to be a special ed department chair knows that she's actually a saint on this earth. But when I was talking to you in the car today, just randomly, and we talked for about 5 minutes, I said, oh, let's jump on an Instagram live earlier,
let's do it.
because I wanted everybody, wanted the whole world to know what you had just told me. So now we're going to tell the Facebook world about all of this amazing information you told me.
Let's tell them.
And what you created.
They need to know what's going on. Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. I made a quick rundown so that people can just take notes. So make sure, people, that you have a paper and pencil on you. I am not good with Facebook Live. Sorry. So if you guys write on here.
I think you're great. You're awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome on Facebook
but
Live.
The most important thing is you need to stay to the end, because we have some great information for you. First things first, I know that you guys had the option to not take SOLs this year. Frankly, I was talking to Trisha. I gave her all types of bad advice earlier a couple of months ago when she's like, should I do it or not? I was like, it doesn't matter. They can opt out, right? It's been an emotional wreck for the past year, right? And so I know a lot of people have. I would have probably made that choice too. I don't know if you can opt back in, but this is your PSA to say, if you can, try to opt back in for your high school students for SOL.
Especially high school, because this counts for graduation. And this is your chance that if you feel like my child always struggles with this, this is the year that they could really get it. Like, because they've changed the standards to really accommodate all that for everybody. You don't need an IEP. You don't need a 504. Like, this is your opportunity to really just get it, and you're done with it.
So with both of us having a background in special education, there's something that students that are in the special education program has the opportunity to have, which is called a locally awarded verified credit. And that means that if they get under a 400 but above a 350, right, above a 350, they are still eligible with certain paperwork and certain other criteria to be considered passing.
Yes, the credit. Yep.
So the standard, the norm is that you have to pass at least the SOL with at least a 400 for everybody. This year, they have actually allowed the locally awarded verified credit for everybody, not just people in the special ed department. And when she told me that, my jaw dropped, and I literally said, get off the phone, we're getting on Instagram Live. I want to talk.
I know, it's a big deal, because, and this is where parents go, but they only learned, 50% of curriculum or 70%. That's all they need to pass. Like, they could do it. And I just got off the phone with the parent. She's like, we're doing this. I'm like, listen, they really just need to get like 30 to 40% correct. And the mom's like, I'm not saying that, because I know my kid could get at least a 50, which means it's a pass, but let's get him over. I'm like, let's do it. She's like, I'm in for your spring sessions.
Yes.
I'm like, good, let's go.
So,
let's sign everybody up.
Gem 1, 400 usual, 350 is all they need. It doesn't matter if you have an IEP 504 or you're just general ed, normal, whatever, grade level. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yes. What you have or what you don't have. And so that's Gem 1. Gem 2 is now you know what a locally awarded verified credit is, and you are only eligible for that for this year if you're not normally allotted it. Here's the other thing, you just touched on it. Something that I absolutely love that you do is you work on strategy on how to pass the SOLs. What is your percentage rate of passing for anybody that has taken your
do you think anybody wants to guess what it is? You think they know what it is?
Who can tell us? Who thinks that they know what percentage passes once they take her tutoring class?
I'll give you a hint. I know what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for 15 years and perfecting it for over 15 years. Mm-hmm. So that means it's 100% pass rate.
100%.
Every student that has worked with Mills virtual tutoring. And the proof is in the pudding. If you go on my website, if you go on the Facebook Mills Virtual Tutoring and you look at my reviews, you will see parents that have said, my child has never passed an SOL. I honestly didn't think they'd be able to do it, but my one of their parents knew me from the school that we worked in and said, my grandchild is doing this. I'm paying it for it. We're putting them in Jennifer Mills's class. That was the child. Boom. Not one SOL passed ever. That was passed, and a high school Algebra 1 SOL.
Right, and here's the thing is that I like definitely just want to make sure that whoever is watching this, you guys understand this is not like an ad or a commercial or anything like that. I want you guys to hear this. This is why I was like, I'm working with you, because it like you said, the proof is in the pudding. 100% pass rate. Obviously, we can't always guarantee that, but the fact that being in the special ed department for 15 years, understand kids that missed it by 1 point, one question.
One question.
It's people missed it by one question, and they were devastated. Had to go to summer school. Right now, it's being given to everybody to get a 350. What does this mean? Here's another gem. You ready? She told me this, and my mind was blown. I've taught for 15 years, and I never thought about counting how many questions you needed to pass in order to get right. She's done the math, and according to her strategy is that you need approximately 30 questions you need to pass in order to pass the SOL on a normal year. That's so 30 questions. So what does Mills Virtual Tutoring do to guarantee 100% success rate? They make sure that you can pass with answering 40 questions right, at least 40 questions right. Here's the great news. That was another gem, by the way. Here's another gem. It's 350, right? So she told me the math. That is 20 questions. That is 1/3. It's 1/3.
You need 33%. Basically, what I'm telling you is you could fail the test but pass, and it's great. So you're like, okay,
1/3.
Because I have kids too, and all my students are my kids. So I'm like, I look at them as my children, but this is what you need to do. We know the strategies. We use the Desmos approved calculator that my kids ask me every single classroom, Mrs. Mills, can we use a Desmos calculator? I'm like, yes, use it to your advantage. Check your work. This is not a timed test. You can have 8 hours on this test if you wanted to. So take your time, check your work, use the resources and the tools that we teach you in our prep, get the credit, and move on. Once you get the credit, then I excuse you from the rest of the school.
And let me go ahead and just be clear. If my child ever came home getting a 30% and being proud about it, their butt would be grounded for probably like the.
But this time you can allow.
However, they would not have to take that SOL again. So that's another gem. You need to make sure that they're signed up for the SOLs if you can. I really don't know if you can opt back in. I'm hoping you can. Hopefully, like some educators will see this in here and they'll start pushing for it. But
yeah,
in order for them to get the 33% pass rate, what you're doing is you're starting a tutoring session, or I guess a group of tutoring sessions. So if it's SOL based, it's 6 Sundays, correct? There's one Sunday in the middle.
It's 4 weeks. So we're doing 4 Sundays, but we added in some extra sessions toward the end.
Okay.
In the middle of the week on like Thursdays or Wednesdays.
Got it.
Just as boosters right before the test.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got those days for parents that are like, we're so busy, because I literally, Jenny's like, Jen, do you have 5 minutes? I'm like, no, but what? You know, like no one has time. We're recording all the sessions. You have access to all.
You have
material,
access to all them, even if you miss them.
Videos, even if you miss it, you want to rewatch it. I mean, I want the kids to learn. And when the kids learn, then they get it and their confidence is building and building. And anyone who's an educator knows that. Parents say, Jen, sometimes, you know, we really just need you for the confidence. Like, I know my kid knows the math, but they're only getting 85s. And I take them to the next level because I'm like, you could do this. What are the strategies? If you only know this much, what are the strategies to answer the rest of the question? And with the tools that we give them, they use it and they get into the 90s.
Okay,
it's crazy.
And let me touch on that really quickly too. With this year being a pandemic kind of school year, social distancing kind of school year, let's be honest, I have a kid that's in elementary school too. There was a ton of either busy work, paperwork, packets, blah, 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 blah. If learning the best way with having a teacher in front of you wasn't the best way, we would all be doing this anyway, correct? So, but this is not how it's done. Having a teacher in the classroom is critical to making sure that you understand and you get to practice the material enough. That did not happen this year. It just didn't. Okay, I'm going to say this even for private schools. Private schools still, like, it was still hard, even whenever they did in person. There were still a lot of like limitations there. Okay, this is, you know, 6 different classes, or like 4 straight Sundays, and then the 2 extra boosters that you're giving them. Of fresh material that is literally preparing them exactly for, like, it's like a fuel injection into what
we're spiraling. We're spiraling through the curriculum.
Yeah.
We're bringing in stuff. Remember this from September? No, that's okay. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to remember. These questions, there's about 5 of these on the test. I mean, I've gotten it down to, I know how many questions are like based on a certain topic. So I focus
like how
on
many of
first,
these are fractions, how many of these are what.
And if you have that base, then the kids are like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I know how to do this. And when you show them that you could do this without me now because I've given you the tools, their mind is blown.
Yeah, because then also, like,
wait,
let's say they're like, okay, there's 5 of these types of questions and they're horrible at it. They're like, yes, I don't even need to do those because I'm going to ace these. Don't say that. I mean, but that's what my kids would think, right? They would strategize.
No, it kind of is like that.
Yes.
If you know the strategy. Listen, if I said to my husband, here, I'm gonna teach you my test taking skill strategies and take it, and he doesn't know the math, he would be able to pass because he's a test taking strategies tester, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm smart, I can read all this stuff, but like with my test taking strategies, like, I'm going for that 100. If I get a 99, I want to know what I got wrong. You know what I mean? And that's the tools.
And a lot of the tools that you equip your students with, actually a lot of them too can transfer over into all the other SOL test taking skills as well, right? Like the process of elimination and all those types of things. Here's the reality. A lot of us have been through this. We know a lot of test taking strategies, but your kids have not had the daily practice, you know, with your teacher in the classroom to mess up, to not mess up or whatever. They've been in front of a computer the majority of the time. Probably flipping some YouTube and whatever, and also doing the work, but like, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
It's not the same.
And, Jen, hired me to work with her, and I'm supposed to put these funny films together to make tutoring fun. And I called her today. No, I said, this is such important information that like your face, like people need to know who you are in this area. And so this is why I was like, just get on, and you almost didn't, but
listen, the bottom line is I love what I do. And I started tutoring with one child in the county, and by the next year I had 25 a week. And my husband's like, are you home for dinner? I'm like, nope, I'm eating dinner in the car Monday through Thursday because I need to help these kids.
Yeah.
25 kids per week. I mean, I was hitting sessions where I was almost at 120 sessions a month on top of my teaching job. So I was teaching, boom, 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 boom. And just over the years and with that experience and expertise, you just learn how to perfect it.
Yeah.
I saw it from a different light rather than just, here's the content, let's do your homework, this is boring, this is busy work. Because I'm that teacher too. These are my colleagues that are there, teachers.
Right.
And so it's really about, we make it exciting. We talk about, mostly math, but we want to have a rapport with the kids and say, we're not just a math teacher. Like, we're here to really support your learning and really make you feel comfortable with this and confident. And that is number one over content. Parents, you could be mad at me, but confidence is number one in school.
Well,
if you work on your child's confidence, I guarantee you'd be so shocked in what that does with their learning.
Well, and confidence is built off of whenever you feel like you understand and you're a subject matter expert in something, or that you have the knowledge to back you up. I am so confident to talk about something that I know, and I'm so a little bit more reserved whenever I don't know, what I'm talking about, like politics.
Exactly.
I will say this. It's like a couple $100 for like one of the classes, right? Like nothing's like hidden. Everything is on your website, millsvirtualtutoring.com. And one thing that you said on the live, and I'm going to throw you under the bus here too, is that your phone number and your email address is on millsvirtualtutoring.com. Girl, you should.
I have to mention something about it, because one of my friends was like, you put your cell phone number on your website? I'm like, yeah, why? And then, but this is a funny story. I didn't even get to tell you or Trisha. My babysitter from when I was like 2 or 3 was like, this was in the beginning of the pandemic. I was like, I need a tutor. She saw that I was like, hey, we're offering tutoring sessions. Just get in. We want to help anyone we can. She called and she's like, I'm like, hi, this is Jennifer, and she's like, Jen? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you don't have like a phone service? I'm like, a phone service?
Exactly.
No, you get me.
You guys get Jen.
I'm going to help you.
So whenever you go and you try and obtain some information from Mills Virtual Tutoring, you guys are calling the CEO of the company. Like,
you're
on
calling
the website.
me, and I am giving you my wholehearted, real opinion of your situation.
And if you don't sign up, whatever. The whole idea is that she's going to like.
I'm here.
You now have a special ed and educating friend that knows her stuff.
The bottom line is, I do truly just want to help everyone. It's why I stay a teacher. All my friends look at me and go, Jen, you're still in the classroom? Are you crazy? Like, when do you sleep? I'm emailing you at 3 a.m. I don't sleep because I love this. I'm like this at 3 a.m. I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be great for the kids. I'm emailing all my friends and my partners and all these people like, hey, we got to do this. What do you think about this idea? Meet me tomorrow. I have 10 minutes. Because I can't stop it, because I see it from a different perspective. We have to be real about what's going on. Education is changing. Okay, this needed to happen. We are not the 1900s classroom anymore.
No.
We have access to so much. The kids need people that are real, that want to help them, and they want to do stuff that they're interested in and have fun. And actually, math can be fun. And if you ask any of my tutoring kids who met me and they used to work with me in person 5-10 years ago, all in college now, I watch them on Instagram playing, games and going on vacations, and they're in lacrosse and stuff. They were like, in my mind, you were the 90-year-old tutor that, was just doing the math, and they were boring. They were like, we came to your house, I had candy. I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. When you have a test coming up, organize them, get them like in the mindset of like, you're running the show. I'm just your backup. Like, you're the celebrity here. I'm your support. this is what you could do. This is what you should do. You know, all of those things, it takes a village to have a fantastic student, right? It's all of the teachers, it's the parents, it's the school administrators, it's the support staff at the school, it's
Absolutely.
your neighbors, it's your friends, it's your colleagues, even if you're not in the schools. I mean, it's everybody, anybody that could help. That's where I am. I'm a teacher. I am not leaving the classroom. I am not leaving the classroom. So let's get that straight. I'm not leaving the classroom. I'm still there for my almost 200 students every single day, every single morning. At night, I'm answering them at 11. They're like, do you sleep? I'm like, no, I need to make sure you are good in my Algebra 2 class. Bottom line, I'm not sleeping until I know that you are good. And they go, all right, I have the support. It's about that support.
You're absolutely incredible, and you're everything and anything like that I just want to be like when I grow up. But you know, here's what I'll say. I'm gonna do like a brief rundown, okay, guys? Here's some gems that we dropped, okay? Mills Virtual Tutoring CEO Jen, right here. Her cell phone is on the website, so go ahead and call her for some free advice that costs a lot of money from advocates and from anybody else if you were to go there. Trust me, I know. 400 is the normal standard SOL that you need to pass, but everybody is eligible right now to get it for 350. At least 350. We want to set the bar high, but at least you know that the bar is low so that we can get it in if your kid struggles, especially with like a specific subject.
This is their chance.
The other piece that we kind of didn't even talk about though is that like if they don't take it this year, they still have to take it next year. So if they don't take, they're supposed to be Algebra 1 this year and they take geometry next year, they have to take the geometry as well. In Algebra 1 as well, adds a lot more stress, probably, you know, needs refreshers. It's just a mess. So please don't do that. It's awful. And I see firsthand the stress and the tears and just overall like anxiety that is built up over all of, oh, you have to take 6 tests this week. It's just not okay. So don't do that to your child. You know, you want to get, you know, the aim for Mills Virtual Tutoring is to get at least 40 questions right on SOLs and better, like way better, but your goal is 40, and they help you break down the types of questions that are on there. But this year, you really only need about 20, let's aim for 30, so that you can pass
20 and 30,
with at least a 33%. Oh my Lord, the day that Knox comes in and was like, I got a 30. Okay, the day. But that's for a different day. He'll be in your classes. Okay, the content will be fresh. There's the booster classes on top of the other 4 Sunday classes, 100% pass rate. The final exams, all the teachers are more than likely gonna make you take the final exam, but it only counts for you. It will not hurt you in the past.
Right, so it can only help.
Yeah,
yep.
I mean, I've taught classes before where the final exam was the 5th quarter, and you could be doing really well the whole first 4 quarters, and that 5th quarter just brings you all the way down.
Yep. Just because of one test.
One test. So that's not going to happen. If it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't help you, it doesn't help you. But that's like right there, ladies and gentlemen, like 8 gems right there that honestly is just touching the surface. I really admire what you do. Please don't stop doing it, Jen. And I'm gonna keep advocating for you, because I genuinely don't think that you're just like a tutor. I think that you're a mentor and a coach to all of these kids. I see you on those Zooms and the videos and stuff that you've sent me. The kids love you. When we were on Instant Live earlier, they were all signed on so they could see your face.
All my students, all my old kids, all my kids from my school right now, they're all coming on.
So guys, listen, it's in the notes right now. It's millsvirtualtutoring.com. Remember, her cell phone's on there, and email. And also she's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She's also in bed.
And call anytime. And if someone's like, hey, I really don't know what to do, I just need to bounce ideas, call me. I can't tell you how many people are like, I got your name through word of mouth. I have these questions. I'm like, I'm happy to answer them, happy to find the answers if I don't know them, happy to give you routes that you can take and what would be the best and what you need and what you don't need, really. Absolutely. Right? Like,
I'm so proud of everything that you have built. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And if you know any parent that would benefit from knowing all of this information, or maybe just the knowledge of what we shared in here, go ahead and share with them as well. And you're welcome to reach out to me too if you guys have any questions. If I don't know the answers, I will definitely send you Jen's cell phone number.
Or just go on the website. It's everywhere.
Have an amazing Monday. Opt in, don't opt out. this is your chance. I know that school was not very easy this year, whether we agree with how all the different counties handled it or not. This is your chance to help get your kid across the finish line of this marathon, okay? Like, push them just one step further so that they don't have to stress about this later. All right, peace out, y'all.
Bye, everybody.